Yes, we'll be back from the break. You're watching Smart Means Business. I'm Andrew Barige, and now at this point in time, as we're heading into our business insight, like we had told you. But of course, before we proceed into that, I would still love to remind you that the markets on the Zebra platform are already on, and to participate, it's quite simple. Start 92 hash is the USSD code, which will avail with options where you'll be in position to government bond securities at 15,000 yen shillings. Now the markets, as I speak right now, they already open, and they open at exactly 8:15 a.m. and they'll be running all the way to 3:15 p.m. That is East African time. Now this is effective Monday up to Friday. Apart from the weekends and the public holidays, I want these markets cannot be accessed. But of course, despite that, you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make money. Something which I believe it's quite key and instrumental when it comes to your financial life and prosperity. Is that made a reality for you? And this is regardless of, regardless of the phone you own. You could be having a button phone, you could be having a smartphone, you can still participate. That's why Zabo says, my money, my future, and Alltex East Africa tells you, well, you gotta do something new for yourself. Well, of course, the issue of the digital number plates has been quite of a great concern, and it's been all over the media for the past number of weeks. And well, it raised quite lots of questions when it came to transparency and so many matters. Now, to add on that, here I'm joined with Susan Kataike. She's the Principal Communications Officer from the Ministry of Works, as we are definitely going to, we simplify, of course, the conversation to the common person right there to understand. Susan, good morning, and you're welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Now, getting back to this issue, lots of aspects have been said and all that. And maybe before we can go deeper into this, let's first of all look at, to what extent do you think these digital plates are going to stabilize road security, and how are they going to reduce on the crime rate? To what extent do you think it's going to reduce on the crime rate?
As much as I may not know the extent, what I am sure of is that the origin of the idea was to ensure that the safety of people, the safety of their vehicles and their motorcycles is ensured. So until we have implemented the project, the extent of its impact becomes a little bit difficult to analyze. But going by what is presented about the technology, it's supposed to reduce the crime rate greatly.
The crime rate greatly?
Yes, please. Okay,
now, of course, as we, there have been concerns about like contracting a foreign company and, of course, pushing out the local distributors of the plates out of business. How did you really react with that? Because I believe the local people that distribute them still are partly responsible as the Ministry of your in Works, and any person that deals in something related to Works is under your custody. How have you really seen through that?
First and foremost, I think there are some issues that need to be properly understood. This project at inception was a security project.
It
was a security project. And it's being handled by Ministry of Security, by the Office of the President, because, as I said, at its inception, it was a security-related project. Yeah. And one thing that I know about such projects, government can choose to do direct procurements, can do procurements under classified. So it's classified. Yeah, it could be classified. So if it's a matter of security, then the government has a keen interest. Security has a keen interest in who implements or whom this contract is given to for security reasons.
So that's why it's kept classified.
Keeping out the people you're saying right now in the market who are dealing in the gadgets that you have talked about. I think for the moment, the ITMS because the project is called the Integrated Transport Monitoring System. That's the system that is being offered. It's a new technology. It's a system, and most probably opening it up to so many other players could have informed the decision that was taken by the powers that be to give this contract to that specific company. So it's a project that offers a total solution. If I'm giving you the cameras, then I'm giving you the number plates, then I am giving you the chips, then I'm giving you the tracking devices. It's a project that is complete. It's complete. Whether they can work with the current service providers, that is something that may need further discussions by the powers that be.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Now, some time back I had this discussion with the members of parliament, and one of them was concerned about information security and protection, and how safe is it that Ugandans, the tracking of Ugandans is entrusted to a foreign company. Don't you think that exposes Uganda to a security risk in some other way, and this could actually result into a possible hacking, which could be financial anyway? We may not know.
But of course, hacking into any system can be done by anybody. Even with the current systems, hackers can hack into any system from whichever part of the world
Okay,
they are.
it may not be hacking, but exposing a foreign company
to people's information.
People's information, yeah.
Okay, now, according to the project, how it's packaged, people's privacy, people's information will be, all this information is going to be within the confines of police. It's not going to be in the hands of the foreigners. And at the end of the day, we have the Privacy and Data Protection Act 2019. Yeah. I believe if I feel I am violated, I can take on government through the courts of law or whoever is violating my privacy. So there are those facilities that are available for us as Ugandans to use in case we feel that our privacy is being infringed on beyond what it should be, because the project is looking for security-related information. Remember, as I said, with the president, and as you rightly said, for him, it was about reducing the rate of crime. So the information that is going to be looked out for, is going to be related to crime. Not that everywhere you're going, somebody's just imagine how many people would be required to follow every Ugandan. So I think it's not feasible for us to believe that they are going to trace every step that we take, every place that I go to. Government will be keenly watching for me unless we give them reason to watch for us.
Well, before we came on air, I mentioned something about the pricing, 714, and you told me, okay, this is something to do with the finance. But still, okay, from your other side of perspective, are we trying to say that somebody should attach a price tag to their security by paying that amount of money?
We value life, right?
Yeah.
If you fell sick today, wouldn't you pay a medical bill?
I would pay.
You would. And depending on the gravity of the illness, the sickness, you can walk into a hospital right now, you have a headache, and when you reach there, they tell you have a tumor.
Yeah, exactly.
Most probably, you will not even have the money. First of all, you never conceived that you had a tumor. You reach there, you need a surgery, and they are asking you for 20 million shillings.
Exactly.
So what I'm trying to say is that you cannot put a price tag to life. However, given the ongoing discussions, as you heard yesterday what was happening, of course people are so concerned, as you rightly said, about the high prices, and the discussion, how we have gotten to where we are, is that we started our engagements about in May, we had stakeholder engagements. And in those engagements, we had what we call our key stakeholders.
Okay.
We had URA, we had the bond owners, car importers, and those who help us. What are they called? There's another category that I keep on. The clearing agents. And it was from that conversation that actually we have reached where we are right
Today.
now. Because in that engagement, in those different, we had about 3-4 engagements with them, with the different groups altogether. We had like 4 engagements, and they each raised their concerns. As you've rightly said, there was the issue of pricing, there was the issue of sensitization, there was the issue of time. There was the issue of time. So right now, the issue that is really high out there in the public is the issue of pricing. So when they gave their ideas about the prices and all that, actually it led them to, I think it was through Casita, they sent a petition to the Speaker of Parliament. So the Physical Infrastructure Committee has been having engagements with the project team, that is Ministry of Security and Ministry of Works and Transport. And I think yesterday they had an engagement with the Minister for Internal Affairs. And the issue of pricing keeps coming up. So for me, I believe that one is that the way the project was packaged, according to the available information, it's a build, operate and transfer project.
Build, operating and transfer.
Build, operate and transfer, where the contractor is going to put they are supposed to put every infrastructure that is required for the project in place. That means they bring all the security gadgets that are required, they bring the number plates, set up the fitment centers, because we are supposed to have fitment centers at the different border points. Then have fitment centers within Kampala, build a factory that the number plates will be produced here. The number plates will be produced here. And also create regional offices for the project, such that people will not be inconvenienced to come and do this registration and in Kampala. So it's from that packaging of the project and the time that is given of 10 years that they come up with this pricing.
Oh, so they based on that?
Yes.
Yes.
You're coming to build infrastructure. You're going to provide all the gadgets that are required. You're going to produce the number plates. You're going to set up offices. You're going to train. People who are going to work in this project. And then at the end of the 10 years, you're going to give us the Ugandans everything. By that time, the expectation is that you will have recouped your investment, and then you leave, and the Ugandans begin running the project themselves. So that's what informs the pricing.
Well, that's quite interesting. Maybe Ugandan out there would love to know, do we have dummies of such plates? People are trying to imagine how are these number plates going to look like. Do we have some samples or dummies of them?
I would share images with you much later. We have the images of how these plates are going to look like. I'm not in position to give you a physical number.
Of course, I'm not in a physical number.
You can have a look at how they actually appear. Yes, please.
So this factory is going to provide employment to the people?
Of course. It's going to employ Ugandans. It's supposed to be built in Bugolobi. Actually, the members of Parliament on the Physical Infrastructure Committee tomorrow will be visiting the site, so most probably you can join them. They'll be visiting, they'll be visiting the site where the factory is supposed to be built. So the factory, yes, is going to be built
So
here.
priority will be given to the natives, because that had caused fears about employment and all that.
But you know what? Even the people who are fitting these number plates, the people they've trained are Ugandans. They are not Russians. It's just that the Russians are training the Ugandans. So there's knowledge transfer as well. And there's job creation for the start, yes.
Maybe if I may ask, as we chose this contractor to come and help us, have we tried to explore their works in some other country like Russia, where they, because I think that can be a basis to give to feel safe for the decision we make for the citizens in Uganda.
I don't think there are very few projects that that government does without benchmarking, without looking at where the same service has been provided, whether it's by another service provider or the same service provider. But I know that there was a team that went to Russia to check out the technology, and there's a report that is available. That report was given to the relevant committees. They have it, and they have information about the technology. And we've also come to know that they are implementing similar technology in other countries. This they explained to the MPs when we
so
were...
some other countries where they are...
Yes, they said there are some other countries that they are implementing. It may be with some variations depending on the climate or whatever the country wanted, but similar technology, so they say.
Okay. Well, very interesting. We are discussing the issue of the digital number plates in here, something which has caused quite a lot of, lots of talk here and there. Maybe shortly before we get into the break, there has been issues of transparency, about the minister, because like regarding the Minister of Internal Affairs talking about not understanding what this whole aspect is all about, and saying about the team they took to Russia, and they say they found that the company doesn't exist and it's corporate and it's in Poland, of which Poland is at war with Russia. I mean, that whole aspect, how would you bring it to light to a viewer out there to create a clear picture, or it's just propaganda of the people that say that?
Well, I am not... I tried to listen to the clips that were recorded from Parliament during the Minister's interface with the Committee on Physical Infrastructure. Yeah. I think I didn't get that part where he stated that the factory, that the company is in Poland, that it's not in Russia. But from the report that I have seen, I know that our team went to Russia. They went
and
to
the
Russia.
company was there.
And they went to their offices. And I also know that the issue about Poland that I know is that the plates are being produced in Poland. It's just like you have...
the plates are produced in Poland,
yes,
then Russia distributes.
No, it's like it's like you have Uganda Bati here, but it distributes. Sorry, I've made an advert for this.
Okay.
But you find companies. I can be producing from here, but I work from somewhere else. Isn't that feasible? If that is where I can easily produce from, and maybe also regarding the current political, the current war going on in Russia, maybe that's the reason why they chose to produce them there. There could be so many reasons as to why. But I know that the team that went to Russia. Yes, please.
All right, very interesting in here. It's 24 minutes past 9. You're watching Smart Means Business. I'm Andrew Barije, and my guest this morning is, of course, Susan Kataike. She's the Principal Communications Officer, Ministry of Works, as we're dissecting down this topic about the digital number plates. Well, still to remind you before we get into the break that the markets on the Zabo platform are already on, and to participate, it's quite simple. *292# is the code to avail with options where you'll be in position to actually buy bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now, as I speak right now, the market's already on, they're already opened, and you can really trade the bond securities. This is the new normal for the 21st century, and this is what they call money working for you instead of you working for the money. So Zabo has granted this opportunity. Avoid all lots of scams that are all over, which tell you to trade bonds online. Zabo is the ultimate, of course, platform for you. And you can trade and experience financial security. Still on top of *292#, you need to register with your national identification number and your national card number for you to proceed efficiently. And I believe that way we shall be able to catch up with the economy. Zabo simply says, my money, my future. And Altex East Africa tells you, well, you gotta do something new for yourself. Remember, it is 2023. Well, now let's get into the break. We shall be returning to proceed with this discussion.
Smart 24, driving business.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292#. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you're ready to invest.
In a world where trade drives economic growth and development, Africa is now embracing a new era of intracontinental trade through the African Continental Free Trade Area to unleash its immense potential. Witness the spirit of entrepreneurship as African businesses forge a way into partnership and venture beyond their borders in a single African market. Discover the innovative solutions being initiated and created to address challenges and seize opportunities in sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, and technological advancements. We expand our lens to showcase the efforts and success of economic integration across the entire African continent, from West Africa to East Africa, North Africa to Southern Africa, Central Africa, and even the diaspora, as the tapestry of unity grows stronger with each story we tell. African perspective, driving business and trade across Africa. Don't miss the African Perspective on Smart 24 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at exactly 6 p.m. East African Standard Time as we drive business and trade across Africa. Download the Smart Digital app on Play Store and enjoy your favorite TV shows, documentaries, and radio in your palm on the go.
Smart 24, driving business.
Yes, we'll be back from the break. It's exactly 27 minutes to the top of the hour. Definitely, as we head into the last half of the show, and of course, very grateful from all the way we've started from till this very point. But still, as we proceed with our discussion here, still to remind you that the Market on the Zabo platform already on. Please participate. Star 292 hash is the USSD code to avail with options. Here you'll be in position to actually buy government bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 international links. Now they already open as I speak right now because they open at exactly 8:15 a.m. and they run up to 3:15 p.m. That is East African time, and this is effective Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends or the public holidays when those markets cannot be accessed. But of course, despite that, you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make money. Something which I believe it's quite key and instrumental when it comes to your financial security. And Zabo, maybe it's a reality regardless of your location, regardless of this phone that you're holding, with a smartphone, with a button phone, you can still participate. It's quite simple. Star 292 hash is the bridge to link you there. That's why Zabo says, my money, my future. And also East Africa tells you, well, brother, you got to do something new for yourself. It is 2023. Well, now, as we proceed with our discussion in here with the digital number plates, I'm with the Principal Communications Officer, that is Ministry of Works, that is Susan Kataike. She's breaking down these matters. Now, Susan, what is happening in here with our ongoing discussions? The public has been questioning the genuineness of the company that was contracted to take on this.
Yeah, that's true. It has been raised in different fora, and I remember that I think early this year, the Attorney General was able to do due diligence and give a report in Parliament, and I believe in Cabinet as well. So the issues surrounding the company in whatever aspect that people were looking at it were resolved. And at least that has been resolved through Cabinet and Parliament. So those are issues that were raised before that pushed government to actually look into the company and look at different aspects that people were querying. And when the Attorney General did that, cleared the company. So there are no issues in that regard about the company.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Maybe somebody would love to know, as Ministry of Works, because we know we were mentioning some points here, and you're saying now, like how you say this is for Ministry of Finance. So, as Ministry of Works, what's your role in this project?
Yeah, you see, as I said earlier, the birth of this project was a security project. Actually, Ministry of Works and Transport now comes in later because of the component of the number plates. Ideally, it's still a security project. It's just that now the number plate facilitates the technology to perform what it's supposed to do. So the role of the Ministry of Works and Transport, I'll take you back to how vehicles used to enter the country. When you would buy a vehicle, of course, you would get clearance from URA, that is by paying your taxes, and the vehicle gets onto the road.
Okay.
Now, URA's mandate is collecting taxes.
The taxes,
So with time, the increase in the number of vehicles, of course, what again pushes this whole project into place that Uganda currently, according to the available data, has about 1.8 million. 1.8 million vehicles and some few thousands. But if you went on the system, if you swept through, you could find that you have less than that on the roads. Why? Because URA's mandate was basically to collect taxes. So once the vehicle would come, it has cleared its taxes, government gets its taxes, the vehicle is on the road.
On the road, yes.
So now it's no longer the responsibility of the URA.
Okay, yes.
And now the backbone of this project is also that the increase in the number of vehicles, the increase in the number of motorcycles has created a kind of security situation whereby you don't have a database of all the vehicles, the motorcycles that you have in the country.
Makes sense.
And there've been, I think, if some of the incidents that have happened, you can't track a vehicle, you can't track a motorcycle. Why? When the vehicle came into the country, maybe let me say 5 years ago, Susan bought the vehicle. After 2 years, she sells it to you. And the culture that we have, very few people do it. Even if you asked your friends, just do a sample and ask some of them, you'll realize that when we sell off our vehicles, very few of us go in to follow up and do the actual transfer.
Some people think when you transfer the logbook.
Yes, transfer the logbook and the vehicle. If I have sold it to you, then I should do all the paperwork and the vehicle is in your hands, such that it's no longer my responsibility, my liability. Whatever happens to that vehicle is not my responsibility.
Yeah.
But that is not the culture with most Ugandans. They sell off something and don't go till the last mile, to ensure that the vehicle is entirely has been transferred.
Yeah.
So you would find that a vehicle has moved within about 5-6 people.
Okay. Yes.
Now, this vehicle or this motorcycle is involved in a crime. Maybe security is looking for it, they don't find it. Then maybe a few months, a few years down the road, they find it. But now it's no longer in the hands of Susan. And most probably Susan is the one who committed the crime. Or when the vehicle committed the crime of the motorcycle, by that time it was in Susan's hands.
Exactly.
So now it's in your hands. Then police gets you. You are arrested for a crime you actually have no idea.
Probably you sold it to somebody, and
that person also sold it to somebody else. And to make matters worse, if the first person who sold it died. It becomes so. In all this, government is trying to create a clean database. That is why government is saying, okay, if we want to secure vehicles, the proper vehicles, motorcycles, and the people, let us register all of these vehicles. And I think along the way, they realize that for the technology that is being recommended for it to work, they would need to, because one of the things they intend to do, there is supposed to be a chip that is in the number plate to give them the information and the data that they need. That chip that will relay. They know how they speak in technology terms, but there is that chip that is supposed to work with the number plate, an onboard device, a tracker. It's like it's an entire system that is supposed to relay information to the command center where that information will be utilized. Okay. So now Ministry of Works and Transport comes in because it's our mandate when it comes to the registration of vehicles, because that mandate was given back to the ministry from URA in 2021. So that's how the ministry, that's how the Ministry of Works and Transport gets onto the project to ensure that we offer that support service to the Ministry of Security to give the service, to ensure that the ITMS performs its actual, because on that system they've developed now a module to register the vehicles and license them. Okay. So it's not going to be what we have been doing, but now this is going to be done online. So it's on that background of having so many vehicles, many are not registered, and you can imagine when the vehicle comes to the end of its lifespan, if we can use that word, where does the number plate go? You find that some of these number plates are the ones that people pick up, use when they are committing crimes and all that. But now government is saying, when a vehicle comes to the end of its life, let us have back the number plate and write it off. That it's not there, such that it will not be seen anywhere else. So that's how the ministry comes in, and that is how we work with the Ministry of Security as one government.
Very interesting. Now, with these conversations that are going on, how do you think they are going to affect the start date of the project? Because, like we were saying earlier on, people have a totally different perception. So how do you think they are going to affect the start date of this project?
Now, of course, there's one thing that you need to understand about any project. for you to implement any project successfully, you need all your stakeholders on board. I think that is a principal element. You need all stakeholders on board. That's why, as I told you, we were supposed to start on 1st July.
1st July.
1st July. The date moved from 1st March, then it moved to 1st July, and now we have moved to 1st November. The reason why we moved to 1st November, as I told you, because we had an engagement with the key stakeholders, and they gave their ideas, which were valid.
Yeah.
And that engagement is what has caused the current discussion. Because, as I said, they petitioned the Speaker of Parliament, and the Speaker mandated the Committee on Physical Infrastructure to do its job, go through the petition, and give a report back to Parliament.
Yes.
So right now what the Committee on Physical Infrastructure is doing is to look for answers for what was raised in that report. That's why Ministry of Works was called, Ministry of Internal Affairs was called, Ministry of Security was called. Everybody who is responsible for the project has been called or will be called. When they are good and ready with their report, then they will present it on the floor of Parliament. So does this affect the start date? That depends on the outcomes
of the discussions
of the report.
Of
that report. That report is going to inform, one, whether we start on 1st November or not. Two, of course, from Parliament, I believe it will go even as far as Cabinet. The powers that be will have to decide. Second, do we have to continue with the project or not? Totally wipe it off and we continue the way we've been going. Three, can the prices be reduced or not? Or should they be increased? Which I don't think that.
Although that will be increased from 714 to
no, I don't think that. I don't think that. I don't think that will happen. So the report is going to determine so many things. However, it does not stop us, because until government now pronounces itself and says that this is the direction we are taking, then for me, as the person responsible for communication, I cannot stop informing the public, because you see, if you don't inform the public and yet you have to start on 1st November, then people will say that actually we've not gotten enough information, about the project. So yes, the report, the current investigation being done by the Physical Infrastructure Committee has a bearing on when we start on 1st November. So we just have to wait for the outcome of the report and the pronouncement by Cabinet. The President will pronounce himself, and then we shall pick it from there. But we shall continue talking to the public. Yes, please.
Maybe finally, I know some of the viewers, some of the Ugandans may be interested to understand. You mentioned about the Ugandan trained for this. Somebody may understand what kind of specific skills are going to be needed once the project starts. What do I need to be able to do? People would want to know what's the job description, the specifications of the available opportunities for this.
Currently, I know that the trainings that are being done, one, we have, they are training the technicians who are going to fit the number, fit the number.
It needs a certain technical.
Yes, given that it has an electronic gadget in it. You know, with the current arrangement, after you've paid your dues at URA, your number plate is given to you. Then you go either in the bond, and the number plate is fixed for you. Yeah. Or you can also pay somebody nakuterako number plate. But still, going back to what I said earlier, the security element. Now that's why this has to be in the hands of the people who are supposed to fix them.
To fix specific
Yes,
people.
specific people to fix them.
Wow.
Because if you fix it and you damage it again, you have to pay, and that is a real serious pain for somebody who is supposed to pay that amount
Okay.
for a number plate.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So, what about tracking and all these?
Yeah, as I said, it's still that category of people.
Still all technicians.
Yeah, it's because these technicians.
IT technicians.
No. For the tracking, that will be done by police. It's the command center is at police.
But they will still need labor to have, you know, somebody that extensive. Because now there's going to.
It's police officers. Even the police has been trained.
Trained
They are
too?
training police officers.
Okay.
Yes, how to work with the system. I think recently I saw they passed out about 60 or 80 police officers who have been trained to work with this technology. Between 60 and 80.
80. Okay, that's a huge number. Wow.
And I believe they will continue to train more.
Okay, very interesting. Well, that is it for our Business Insight today. I've been with Susan Kataike. She's the Principal Communications Officer, and that is Ministry of Works. And yeah, we've had the insight, and let's wait for the 1st November date. Of course, as we wait for the report to be released, it will be the determinant factor as a result of that. But of course, the bigger picture in here is the opportunities, because I believe every person out there, they want to understand whatever is coming up. How do I benefit from a smartphone? It could be a button phone. Any of the two can actually be of great relevance, and you will be able to make money. Money will be working for you. But also remember, most importantly, on top of *292#, you need to register with your national identification number, or what we know as the name. That's why Zabu says, my money, my future, and all that East Africa tells you, you got to do something for yourself. It is 2023. Well, channel 372 DSTV, channel 320 on GOTV, and on our social media handles at Smart24TV, that's on Twitter, currently known as X, and Smart24TV official, that's on Facebook, and Smart24TV Live, that's on YouTube. You can get us at any part of the world you will be at. And also, you go to your digital, to your Play Store and download the Smart Digital application. You can stream Smart24TV anywhere still. You're stuck in jam, heading back home, and you're coming from home, reporting to work. You're stuck in jam, or in some sort of a way, you can stream Smart 24 TV. Well, it's a Wednesday. It's half the middle of the week. Well, go be productive, like I always urge you to, and let's believe for a better tomorrow. Well, a good morning, be productive. We meet tomorrow.